Hello, everybody, and welcome to Echoes from the Cauldron. Today we have the wonderful Rue Witch with us, and honestly, this was not planned as much as you would think it is. Although Rue is amazing with logistics, I am not. So we have set up a brief plan, and we've got some questions and some queries, and we're going to dive into a couple of different things today. One of the main themes today, aside from kind of educational content, is actually getting into how messy the online spiritual space can be. So Rue, what do you think, babe? What's going on?
Okay, babe. Well, I think we better bring on the bombastic side-eye chatter.
I believe we should.
I think we better get into it. So, all right, what is WitchTok in 2026? Because 1 minute it's razzmatazz, thrills, jokes, Joseph in the Technicolor Dreamcoat, if you like. But a lot of the time it's not.
It's really
You know
not.
what I mean?
It is. Everybody, I think the main theme that I can see right now, and I've been online on TikTok, WitchTok, for about 2 years. Previously, before that, I was kind of like drifting through other apps. But I think people take far too much notice of aesthetics, firstly. As a viewer, people take far too much and look far too much into aesthetics versus actual knowledge and actual craftsmanship when it comes to what we do. But as a creator, there's a few that, you know, I look at and I'm like, you ain't fucking shit. Like, you couldn't hex your way out of a paper bag. You couldn't, like, there's nothing that, do you know what I mean? And I don't like to think like that about people, but when I see kind of such dangerous misinformation being spread and like fear mongering and stuff, I don't like it.
Or if it comes across as like it's like threatening to people when you don't necessarily need to take a threatening approach. Like, babe, I'll be mid-ritual backing off my back and you want to come and chat to me about salt and a bit of chili. Like, I can't, the math doesn't math. I can't see it being feasible.
No.
When we know exactly how much goes into a curse, and I just feel like as well, the whole like fear mongering of throwing a death curse, you know, there's an energy exchange there. If you haven't unalived somebody, then that's not going to work.
You said this to me, was it when we were on the phone like 2 days ago, when we were talking about that particular creator and the things that were happening over there with them, and you'd said there's no that energy exchange. You can't necessarily throw a death curse on someone.
No, unless you've unalived someone.
Yeah, but then you also kind of mentioned about having an ego death too, where do you want to get into that a little bit, because I found that really interesting?
Yeah, so like I think the whole death curse thing can manifest as like an ego death, but I think what a lot of the time happens is it's a little bit like when the mask slips, isn't it? We see exactly who you are, because a lot of the time, like, let's not be candid, a lot of the time witches do navigate in their ego. We love it. You know what I mean? We do.
It works.
We love it. When we hear that our spells are manifesting, said working is coming into manifestation, into fruition, we love all that.
We do.
So, you know, but however, I think it goes further than that when it's a full-blown veil, mask, illusionatory thing, and then it completely leaves authenticity in the back seat. Do you know what I mean? And then I think a lot of what we do see after a while is ego death.
And I think that's scary for somebody who has kind of hinges their whole life on that kind of ego and that part of themselves. Do you know what I mean? I think that can be quite scary, and I've seen it happen with a couple of creators, actually. Funnily enough, there is a humility that goes into what we do. It's nice to be able to hear about our spells hitting. I nearly killed my fiance like last week. Remember that?
Yeah, just as you do.
I rang her up from the hospital. I'm like, babe. And we do this thing where we both just freeze on the phone. It's so funny. I was like, babe, I think I nearly killed Luke. She's like, what? Like, so like, not that that is something to be proud of, guys, okay, but
No, of course
like
not.
we
No.
it's all good and well being able to be like, oh look, but it's tying in, instead of making it completely about ego,
Yeah.
kind of turning it into more, I'm so proud of the relationship that I have with my spirits, and I'm so
Yes.
proud of this thing that we have now cultivated together, because
Yeah.
that is how this spell has come into fruition, and I'm
Yeah.
proud that that has happened. And also, while we have some level of control over the spell work that we do, we have little to no say over the end result if we're
Yeah.
talking chaos, curse, and the hex magic, because
Yes.
I mean, like Lilith, for example, I've told everybody,
Mm.
you're a devotee of Lilith. You've been with her for a
Mm.
long time. There is no say in the end result of any working with Lilith.
Um, I mean, no, I have to agree, there isn't. Even though, so if I'm doing something that's like within justice, within Baneful, for me, it's a structured system of, because my work is always very targeted, but I have done when I've been emotionally charged. And it's, I've gone to my altar with my tears, let them fall. And that was like letting a gun go off in a sealed box where the bullet is just bouncing around.
Yeah,
Bom,
that's,
bom, 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 bom.
yeah. Oh,
And
it's
then even
terrible, isn't
I
it?
have to get out of the way of the bullet.
Yes.
Do
Oh
you know
my
what I
God.
mean?
Yes.
Because you can take a little bit of that on if you're not, if it's not targeted. Um, but yeah, I think when it comes to Lilith and doing baneful work, I mean, I don't have to tell you she's more than up for it. You already know that,
Oh yeah.
she is. But I feel like the way she kind of sits over it is she will pull at things if she thinks, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
think?
I think, especially if it's like, well, it is situational anyway, but
Yeah.
especially if it's a particular situation, I
Mm.
find her pulling on, like, if my focus and my energy is in an area and I'm like, right, this is what I want to work on. And she's such a bitch. Sometimes she's just like, yeah, no, I don't want to do that. And then she will draw my energy and draw my attention to something I really don't want to address, but that really
Yeah.
needs to be addressed. Because it's a case of, it's not just she doesn't want to do it. It's, oh, you want me to work on that? You want me to help you with that? I can't do shit until you work on this to open that energetic gateway for me to be able to enter this space
Yeah.
spiritually. Because
Yeah.
then if I do that without you having worked through X, Y, and Z, you're fucked. And then you're going to
Yes.
come crying to me again. And
Yeah.
then what are we going to do? So,
Yeah.
but this again, Rue, comes from the connection and the relationship that you have with her, that you
Yes.
foster with her, right?
Yeah.
And then you look at, what's happening in the WitchTok space and the online spiritual space as a whole, but obviously WitchTok is like the most popular one.
Yeah.
And you see creators, big and small, using these names as attack dogs,
Yes, you
using
do.
Lilith,
Yes, you do.
do you remember what I went
Yeah.
through with that woman, that she who shall not be named, and
Named, yeah.
how she used Santo Muerte to threaten me indirectly, saying that, oh, it doesn't matter who you work with, Santo Muerte has dominion over death, this, and dominion over every spirit there. You can't do anything to me. In the same breath, you've been talking about me for fucking nearly 2 years, so I don't know what you're on about, but it's
Yeah.
that is so wrong. The way you will be humbled in that
Yeah.
is disgusting. Like, it's not these spirits and these entities, like, she don't fucking need us. She's never needed us, right? she
No.
she is out of all of them, especially her,
Yeah.
Lilith is so sovereign. Like, she
Yes.
doesn't care for what you have to
She's
offer her.
just like a moving force.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
is. And
Unstoppable one.
yeah,
Unstoppable
she
one.
is.
So it is, if I was to now use her name in vain, and I think
Yeah.
this is where, like, the biblical using the Lord's name in vain comes in for me, in the spiritual sense of,
Hmm.
because I still work with both
Yeah,
energies,
yeah, yeah.
is like using the name of these primordial beings in vain, in saying, and using their names as attack dogs. They will turn on you just to teach you a lesson,
Oh, yeah.
because they love you,
Oh,
because
yeah.
they want you to, oh, you want to work on my path, you want to be aligned with my current, let's strip you naked now and
Yeah.
address all of your flaws so that you can come back to yourself.
sometimes I feel that even I'm guilty of this myself. So I have gone to, for maybe like a minor inconvenience that really, really upset me, right? And I've wanted to reach for X, Y, and Z because I'm human. I have irrational experience, everybody does.
Yeah.
And, it's like actually, I was actually told they checked me.
Yeah.
They checked me.
Mm-mm.
And, and it's like, I feel like this is when I can really see that you're not aligning with whatever deity you're working with.
And you can
Because,
see it on the fucking screen,
yeah,
bro.
you can.
Oh.
Because I feel like these primordial beings, I think you're doing them and yourself a disservice.
Oh.
And to reach for whatever the fuck it is that we're reaching for these days to curse and hex.
Yeah.
But I think to reach for it and to ask them almost for like a very small insignificant thing that I think sometimes, not all the time, but most of the time, if you took a step back, lifted your head up, caught a breath, you know what I mean? Because I think that way it's so easy to get sucked into that slippery slope of psychosis.
It's scary because you get stuck. Like
Yeah,
you
you
can
do.
really get stuck in that loop for a minute.
Yeah.
And it's also, now this is a really, really hard pill to swallow for
Yeah.
everyone outside of this, like just generally. When working with the energy of spirit, here's the thing. Whether you are venerating any god or goddess, whether you are venerating spirits, whether you are just entirely a solitary witch that literally just uses her own life force to do things, when you are working with the energy and the current of the craft, you are in alignment with goddess energy.
Yeah.
Okay. Whether you're atheist, whether you want to believe in that stuff or not, that's fine. But you are aligning with goddess energy. And goddess, in the same way as the divine feminine, is not pretty. She
No.
is reckless. She's ruthless. She is just as loving as she is destructive.
Yeah.
So there is so much to deconstruct within oneself. And the
Yes.
one thing, again, like I said, regardless of who you work with, when you are casting something targeted,
Yes.
and this is why, like, there's a lot of misinformation online, and I'm not saying that I'm perfect and I know everything, as I
Yeah,
imagine
same.
you don't feel like that either.
No.
But
No.
it's that spirit, whether goddess, whether your deities, can see what you can't see. So while you might be in a situation that is completely fucked and you feel broken by it, and the other person's actions towards you they're not justifiable, you can't justify it, but you can't justify it, you can't rationalize it, whereas spirit can see what's
Yeah.
happening, and you ask for a justice working, and then people get pissed at the results because it's not the way they wanted it to go, where it's like, no,
Yeah.
it's in alignment, it's balanced, which is
Yeah.
why baneful magic is healing magic, not just for yourself, but on a
Yeah.
more kind of like collective sphere, because you're balancing the scales of energy. You are
That's
left
right.
with gunk, you're giving it back, and but it's no use giving it back if you're not learning anything from it.
No.
And I think the depths of that in the craft is what really needs to be addressed, rather than, oh
Yeah.
my God, guys, sign up to my Patreon and, I'm going to teach you how to curse your boss. Like, okay.
So, yeah, I do have some thoughts on this, and I do have some, I wouldn't say restrictions around it, but I do have some thoughts when it comes to people just picking up curse work, okay?
Right, yeah.
The thing is, I always think like, are you ready for those results?
Oof.
Because you have to live with them.
They could die. You don't
you
know
ready?
that.
No. So when in curse work, the intention is to harm. And I think over a WitchTok video, it seems very good to like just curse
Wait,
it.
now let's
You know
do
what
it.
yeah. And I get all that, and I love your vibe. Carry on, babe, you do you. But when it actually comes to you getting those results and you've caused those results, what if that person was in the car with their kids? Are you ready to live with that?
Oh my God, there's that. Oh my God, there's that as well. Put a pin in that for a second. I don't mean to cut you off, but
No, go on.
fuck. you have that there is a clause in your magic, and there fucking has to be, right?
Yeah.
I say this, and I am judging. I'm not going to
Mm.
say I'm not judging. No, I'm judging. If you are solely being fueled by spite with no grounding, and
Yeah.
you don't care who gets hit, you
Mm.
deserve the same lick of that treatment. And I mean
Yeah.
that with the as much love I can muster up in my dark little
Yeah.
soul, right? They're children, animals,
Mm.
and innocent beings, innocent people that are connected to this person, while probably
Yeah.
one of the best ways to hurt somebody might be actually going for their children, right?
Mm.
But first of all, you don't know who the fuck is protecting those kids. You don't
No.
know, like, that it's like we forget about that. Like, they're kids,
Yeah.
but they are people who have their own team of spirits, who have their own team
Yeah.
of ancestors, right? And
Yeah.
you don't know who's protecting them. And also, you don't know how something happening to them might actually affect your target. It might have a completely different effect, as well as their loved ones. While it would be nice to watch someone writhe in pain, it is momentary pleasure. It's
Oh,
not
it
going to last
is.
for long. And
No.
you're going to be left with, fuck, they crashed their car
Yeah.
and this happened and their children are hurt and they lost their
Yeah.
fucking dog. I couldn't live with that. And the
No.
thing is, in the same way that there is shit people in the world, there is shit
Yeah.
people in the crafters, but there are people that will
Oh,
do that
yeah.
for shits and giggles. There really are.
Yeah.
And it's shit because no
Absolutely.
one no one talks about the actual effects of it. I didn't even my energy is really big.
Mm.
And I think I've talked to you about this a lot. By the way, guys, Rue is my witch on call. Like, literally, like, I call her, right, pull a card. I can't touch my deck, pull a card. No questions asked. She's just pulling one for me. I love her to death. But we've talked about this, where
Yeah.
my energy is so all consuming.
Yes.
And if I'm having a bad day, whether I'm talking about it, whether I'm projecting it, whatever I'm doing, if I'm not grounding myself, everyone in my house is feeling it. My kid is acting like a fucking lunatic. My other children are killing each other. Me and my partner are fighting. So I have only just learned at my ripe
Mm.
old age of 33 that my energy is so strong, and
Mm.
I need to fucking collect myself before I sit down to do anything for any reason, because
Yeah.
my I I nearly took out my fiance with a
So,
simple return to sender.
what is interesting for me is the fact that when you are ungrounded, and we've had loads of conversations about this, everyone you love is kind of on the wobble, right?
Yeah,
Everyone you love is wobbly.
yeah, yeah.
But you love in life force, right? The way that you love is in life force currency. So you have ties, energetic ties to everybody you love because you pour into them. You blessed your kids when they come into the world, right? So if the source is unstable, if the source is ungrounded, their little energetic bubble is like, it's like not cutting off their supply, but it's like kind of, what am I doing? Where am I going? Because
It's like poisoning the supply in a way.
yes, my battery, my power source is not how it normally is. Do you know what I mean? So I feel a bit ungrounded in myself, but life force is the strongest energy, magic that you could pour into somebody, and that to that to me is well, that's just the currency that we love in. That's what I believe anyway.
That bitch, I need a cigarette now.
Oh.
That was fucking beautiful. I don't think you know how much I needed to hear that. I believe a lot of people needed to hear. I want to jump through the phone and kiss you. Shit. Okay. Oh my God. No, you've really put some stuff into perspective for me. Life force. And that kind of like, it's similar to what I said in my video a few weeks ago, or last week rather, of you don't know how powerful you are
No, you
because
don't.
of your capacity to love.
Yes.
Your capacity to love will be the
Yeah.
thing that determines the success of your magic. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
who you work with. It doesn't matter what you do.
No.
Do you have the capacity to walk outside your door, look at the birds and go, oh, do you have the capacity to appreciate when you see a tree that looks like it's sad? Can you
Yeah.
appreciate the beauty of your surroundings? Can you appreciate the pain somebody goes through? Not just feel it, but appreciate and go, oh, you know what, they're really going to come out of the other side of this good. Like, do you have the
Yeah.
capacity to do all of that?
Yeah.
Your magic is unstoppable. Your
Yeah.
magic doesn't lie with herbs. And I say this
No.
time and time again, learning about all this stuff is all good and well, but you want to start learning the craft, you need to start learning yourself first. And
Yes.
it doesn't matter if you put a bit of rue or if you put a bit of rosemary in a banishing or a protection. At the end of the day, what are you charging that with? Your life force, and your life force is fueled by your capacity to love. Fuck
Yeah.
rue. I fucking love you, bitch. Oh my
I love
God, that was brilliant. Oh, I
Yeah.
love that.
Is WitchTok performance? Is it competition? Is it education? Or is it an illusion and we all just live in Uncanny Valley? What is it?
So guys, I've lit a cigarette because your girl feels really stressed. So look, it depends what angle you're looking at it from.
Yes.
A lot of it is performative, but like even what we do is performative because we
Yeah.
are, not only are we teaching, but we're also trying to grow our businesses and our platforms.
Yeah.
And, you know, connect people to the right people, etc. But so yes, it's all performative really to some degree. But if you wanna know how authentic it is, oh, I'm gonna sound so shit for this. You need to look at the younger generation of WitchTok creators.
Yeah, I do agree.
You
I
need
know,
to
I
look
do
at the
agree.
younger generation of WitchTok creators because there
Yeah.
is not a single one that I could name you right now that I believe is grounded. I'm sorry, there isn't.
No.
And even like with the recent controversy with what happened in the
Yeah.
space with certain creators, like that particular creator who had, you know, done their first apology video and then done another apology video. The now current uploaded apology video is verbatim things that I have said in my videos that they have now like regurgitated and recycled, and they still haven't addressed a single rumor, which isn't even a rumor, like proof of them scamming people and telling them come and get your fucking money in blood. Like, hello.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
younger generation. It's not to say that the older generation isn't problematic either. Like there's problems
Yeah.
everywhere, but
Yeah.
it's the same as me and you have our problems, you know, behind the screen, our own personal troubles,
Yeah.
things with family, you know, struggles with our children
Yeah.
and their neurodivergency and things like that. But we
Yeah.
don't project that onto this space. And I mean, you're never going to catch me in drama because what did we say in where we're from, we're from the UK, right? We pick up
Yeah.
the phone and we
Yeah.
call each other and we
I'll bail
say,
you. Yeah.
yo, what's the fucking problem?
Yeah.
Right, we're gonna meet up, and as much as ghetto as this sounds, if we need to fight it out or fuck it out, we're gonna do one or the other.
Yeah.
And then we're
Yeah.
gonna put it to bed. There's no he said, she says, there's no back and forths. And even with the
No.
person that was torturing me before, for as long as they were torturing me, I was trying to get a hold of them, and all they kept doing was blocking my numbers, blocking my emails, blocking everything because they didn't want to have a conversation with me, but they were comfortable to come online and talk shit about me and
Yeah.
still look like an idiot while they were doing it. So I think it's problematic with the younger generation. And
Yeah.
the educational side of it is that this is where I get confused as a creator. Is
Okay.
because a lot of the younger generation of WitchTok creators have built a lot of their platform up off of drama and drama in the online space specifically. They have called in viewers who also revel in that and
Yes.
enjoyed that.
Plugging into it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the educational content that they're putting out there can be really contorted by the viewers that they have called in. And
Yes.
it can be a simple protection magic might actually end up being very dangerous for somebody who revels in that type of drama because the only reason they followed them in the first place was because of the drama. So
Yeah.
in terms of like the older generation, my God, like shout out to Ambrosia.
Yeah,
She was
shout
my
out.
first like ever witch that I'd found online like years ago way back when she first started, and she gave me the courage. But how did she do that? She was never someone that was into drama. She was an older
No.
creator, and I could see she was doing everything as she was doing. In the meantime, I saw the other creators that we're also talking about after I started following Amber, and I could never see them the way I saw how Amber was creating, for example, because Amber was doing it purely out of educational content and also learning while she was doing it as well, same as us, right? These lot weren't. These lot, it's like they've read a couple books and they regurgitated it back to you and then got into some drama with somebody and then hex someone's dog. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
the fuck is that all about?
That to me, actually, let's talk about Ambrosia for a second because she, I know she is a big creator, but I think as far as credit goes,
There's
she
not
doesn't
enough.
get
No,
enough.
nope,
She
she
doesn't get
doesn't.
enough.
Mm-mm.
So I am actually in her Patreon.
Same.
I would be ridiculously stupid not to be.
Yeah.
What I've learned from that gal is that magic is possible, right? What I learned from you was that I am capable of doing it, right?
Yeah.
You are both very significant to me, and
Aww.
you remain that remains. But Ambrosia was like, she opened her academy doors and it was like, come in, learn something. You know, it doesn't matter what level you're at, come in, learn something. And I feel like she's kind of helped me brick the foundation of my practice. And
Yes.
why I know what I know is kind of branching from her. You know, we all put our own spin on things and this, that, and the other. But I feel as far as visibility goes and being seen and this, that, and the other, like, I feel like, she doesn't get enough credit for
She
what she's
doesn't, and it's
done.
really annoying because my
Mm,
God, does that woman know how to
mm.
fucking teach? And like, do you know what? We had one conversation once. It was so fucking funny, right? We were on the phone, and I said to her, I was like, do you know what? I feel it's like she became like Dr. Amber for a minute. I was like, she went from Ambrosia the witch to Ambrosia the gynecologist. I was like, babe.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm having this issue with my partner. Like every time, like every few weeks, I feel like this and this is that. She's like, is it like around the time of your period? I was like, yeah, it's so weird. And she's like, oh, honey, you've got PMDD. Just go take some antihistamines. I was like, what? Changed my life. Changed my fucking life. Like, you know what I mean? And I think it's these little things that help us build these connections with one another rather than what is
Mm.
this surface level of creation now on the online space.
Yes, I think so. I think she, you know, well, not just her, you as well, creators like yourself. And this is the thing. I think when you find creators like yourself, like Ambrosia, you kind of aspire to be in some respects the same way. You know, and it's like you see how two people have built fantastic platforms and communities and safe spaces and stuff like that. And I saw that and I thought, oh my God, like I want to do that. That's incredible. And I feel like my kind of teaching ethic is if I can't do it, I'm going to fuck up while I'm doing it, but I'm going to show you that I fucked up because this is how
Yeah,
you don't do it. Do you know what I
exactly,
mean?
exactly. Yeah, and the thing is the traction that which by the way, I'm so proud of you for
Ugh,
how you have pushed and how far you've come already and you've been doing this for 5 minutes like in
yeah.
the online space. I'm so proud of
Yeah.
you and it's
Thank you.
watching you glow, grow and emanate this essence of confidence that in the
Mm,
beginning I know was a really scary thing for you is amazing. And especially like I mean I know you personally, like given your background and everything,
yeah.
you've done so well. But why did you do so well, Rue? Because you are not a viewer who
Mm,
revels in the
mm.
icky nasty fuck. It's like Jeremy
Don't
Kyle for
like it.
Witch Talk,
Yeah.
but like Witch
Yeah.
Talk. Do you know what I mean? And I think
Yeah.
I think a lot of that credit isn't me or Ambrosia or any other creator, it's you. The credit also
Mm,
lies with you because we
mm,
teach, you teach, I teach, you know,
mm.
but as a student, what are you taking from what we're teaching you? Because not
Yeah.
only do you need to be able to apply this to your life in a way that works for you, you can't apply it verbatim because we are all different people.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
that these, I think, the deeper levels. It's funny because it's the foundation basis level of like the bare bones of witchcraft and spirituality, but it's not
Yeah.
taught. Instead of teaching the absolute going through the dark pit of that black hole of recognizing who you are and da 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 da, it's
Yeah.
oh my God, get some rusty nails and get some pins, stick it in this candle and tell this person to go fuck their mum. Okay, yeah, but
Yeah.
like, what about all that
What?
other
Yeah.
stuff?
What are we doing before? What are we doing after? Like there, like you know, yeah. I get that. I do get that. I do think a lot of this is like a lot of it. I think a lot of people confuse what content is to what witchcraft is. right? I
Hallelujah.
think I think somewhere along the line it's become muddled.
Very.
People, content for the internet is exactly that,
Yeah.
but your practice is a lot of us are solitary. I do not show all of my practice on the
No,
internet because
fuck
no
no.
one's no I would be highly questioned, I feel.
But
But
also you'd be very stupid too, because it's
well,
so
yeah,
private, that part of your
it
life.
is. It's to me, it's sacred. It's something that I've spent years cultivating and building, and I just don't feel that no anybody has access to that. Maybe I will open a Patreon one day. I don't know, but
You
at
better.
the moment, I feel like content is content, but your craft is your craft, and you are seeing what people are allowing you to see. That's people, that's their practice, that's their personalities, that's the things they say in their video. They are allowing you, they are consciously pressing that button and allowing you to see only this, right? This is all they can see. You're not going to see the multifacets or the layers to a person.
No.
Do you know what I
No, you're
mean?
not. No.
And I think this is where it kind of gets really twisted. Content is content, but your craft is your craft. That makes sense.
And it is, the lines between the two get really blurred, but also even as a creator, at one point I was also blurring the lines. At one point for me it was also like, oh, I want to share this, or I want to share that, or I want
Yeah,
and
I
at one
know.
point, I've never talked about this before, at one point my spirits put me on my ass so fucking hard. Yeah, I was stripped of everything for a minute, and it was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, I really am being
Mm,
a clown and
mm,
performing for the collective, and for what? Like, it was
yeah.
really like, I get this all the time. Obviously, like for me, my main game is divination,
Yeah.
protection, glamours, and your connection to divinity, right? And
Yes.
there was this one particular person. I just know because, bitch, I'm a witch, okay?
Yeah.
There's this one particular person that kept coming in my lives in different cloaks, with different users, but everybody could tell. Like, honestly, you didn't need to be a witch to figure out what was going on, right? And it
No.
was like the same kind of like repetitive questions, and in the way they were speaking as well. It was like, who do you actually work with, Coco? Who actually is, like, who do you divinate with? How do you know you're who? Like, desperate to know the spirits I really fucking work with, right? Which you could not waterboard it out of me, right?
I mean, I know certain amounts, but that's because in our private time, that's what we've discussed.
Oh my
But
God, you know what? Actually, that is funny you bring that up. Wait, that's something I want to touch up on, because you've experienced who I work with.
yes, I have.
How was that for you?
I'm not okay. I wasn't all right. What do you mean? I had a visceral reaction that I was just forced to bask in.
Yeah, it was really like she was stressed, man. She was stressed, and yesterday my friend came round, and I had to help her hex her ex. It's a long story. I'm not going to
Yeah.
get into that for her
No.
sake, but usually my this particular team of spirits that I work with, they don't really get involved with other people's stuff, and they turned yesterday and they were like, tag me in now, right? And we did the working with them, and the way my friend almost passed out in
Oh,
the altar room,
babe.
but she was very calm because it was all being taken from her. They're very amazing beings. They were
Yeah.
just taking it from
Yeah,
her.
yeah, yeah.
But I don't think I will ever forget. And like, I actually had to tell you who they were because of the reaction you were getting.
Yes. Yes. But also, to give more context into why I started laughing, do you remember the justice card?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you
Yeah.
remember that? And what? And they were literally they were coming through the phone trying to shake me like, this is not it. You're missing the step. Well, we found out the next day what that was all about,
We
didn't we?
did, no, we really, and they were angry at you. They were like, why are you not getting it right, Elko?
Yeah.
So fucking funny. We divinated on this. Oh, it's so funny. Do you know, I think I need to make like a whole other series on what witchcraft with my partner looks like, because the amount that man has been like punished,
Subjected to.
dragged through the ringer, fucking nearly killed multiple times, like over some
He's
shit.
been dragged through the astral by his
He doesn't even know, and it's so funny because
Lucas, like, he's not the, like, oh dear of him, but he's not the, like, brightest in the world, is he? It's like,
do you know what it is as well? Like, he is really, like, really autistic, like up there on the spectrum, God love him, right? And
Yeah.
he is so, like, I can turn to this man about anything. Like, I don't go to Google, I go to Luca, right? And he's so smart, and but it's like, he's so smart, the logic is on point. Like, he's so, what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word? He's just so good at everything he does. He's creative. His brain is just this amazing, wonderful whirlpool of treasure. But like, his ego gets in the way so much that he confuses logic with ego. So so it's been more fun for me as a witch to just sit back and watch him kind of go through these experiences, and just him just think it's just like, oh, I don't know, it's the fucking wind, or it's this and that. And I'm just there like, like that. He's been cooked. Fucking hell.
Yeah, he has been cooked, but dear of him, he's a friend. We're all cool.
Yeah, we're all good.
It's honestly like the point where you just can't help but laugh, and even when you're laughing, he still doesn't have a clue what you're talking about. He's so funny. It's so funny.
I love him so much.
Whereas Rob, my partner, is so neurospicy to the point where he's very like, he's so straight to the point, and there's not a lot of emotional attachment to it, but he's like, babe, this is how we can do this, and this is how, you know, you can push through that. But in his own way, he's just extremely straight to the point.
Yeah.
Which actually brings me on to our next bombastic side eye.
Let's go. Yeah.
Let's go. Okay, rage bait in the WitchTok community.
Oh my God. Do you know what? Give me, is there any particular, before you even go on, because oh my God, because I saw one the other day and I was like, fuck. Is there any particular type of rage bait that gets you roaring the most? Like, you look at it and you're just like, oh my God, shut the actual fuck up.
It's right. So like, it's names. Everyone's gonna know what I'm talking about, but like, it's actually nails down a chalkboard to me.
Okay.
When someone gets on the app and their way of marketing, their way of promoting, is by telling that everyone else's is shit.
Yeah.
Right. And there's the only shit that works. Or when it comes to making a distinction, a nasty distinction, and saying a very generalized term, like I'm just gonna say it, if a witch can't control her weight, she can't control her magic.
Fucking bitch. No, I don't even give a fuck. There's that. And then there was, do you remember Oilgate?
That's what I was talking about. Oil girl. The oil girl, right? That, to me, I needed to like not be on the internet.
No, I had to put my phone away for 2 days. I was like, I'm going to respond to this and I don't want to respond to it. And she was shitting on some really good fucking people. And not only that, I remember her literally promoting herself saying, I am so confident in my spelled oils that if it doesn't work, there's a 30-day money back guarantee.
Why would you need a 30-day money back guarantee if your shit works though?
She's saying I'm that confident in it that if it doesn't work for you, I will give you your money back, while shitting on everyone else. What the actual fuck? And then there was another one, and I will fucking name drop, Spider, some fucking weirdo who has me blocked, and I don't know why, because I've never spoken to the person in my life.
Oh, I don't know that.
But someone sent me one of their videos, and he was talking about divine protection. And
Yeah.
how divine protection doesn't actually come from you casting a spell saying I'm divinely protected, and that it comes from your past lives. And I was actually quite, I was following. I was like, you know what, this isn't bad. This is quite good.
Okay.
Until he turned around and said, "My spirits, shut the fuck up. I'm no longer interested in what you have to
No.
say." He's saying
No.
my spirits, like, almost killed this person, and they didn't even really do much to me. And it's like, babe,
No.
no, sit down, sit down.
Yeah.
No, you're like 5 years
I
old.
think that's the thing as well, is like when there is kind of rage bait in the community, like we all know what it is,
Yeah.
and we all know that it will peak, you will get your views, but then this is the thing that I need people to understand. Rage baiting is a way to get views, but rage baiting will plateau.
Oh, yeah.
You will plateau when you rage bait, because it will be last week's news. This week, the guys are trying to hex the moon again. Like, it will be, you know what I mean? It becomes very old very quick. And and just to go into a little bit of what you were saying about, the divinely protected term. To me, when that is used in a sense of I am just existing, and that this means that I am just divinely protected because I am spiritual, I actually think that's a very fucking privileged thing to say.
Yeah.
I do.
What have you done to deserve that protection?
Well, there's people in the world that deserve free protection.
And
if there was, you know what I mean? There's people that are living in active
war zones and fucking genocide. Exactly.
Really, really bad stuff. So if there was free protection to be given, it needs to go over there.
Oh, yeah.
Not into you, where you're privileged enough to sit in your room, put your phone on, record the video, make yourself look a twat on the internet.
I love you. It's so true. And that's the thing. And it's interesting you say that. Our fears fuel our protection. So love and fear are the opposing factors, kind of like devil card and the lover's card. Okay. In the devil card, you're chained up, but you're not really chained up. You can free those shackles, right? Like that meme of SpongeBob holding those, handcuffs.
Oh, this is literally you right now, yeah.
Yeah, right. And the lovers is just it's just such a divine card. I love that card. But
yeah,
that's the same as love and fear. And your craft can either be fueled by love or fueled by fear, and both work in unison in some way. But when it comes to protective magic, you don't know where it's going. That's the scary part. Do you remember you mentioned something to me, which I won't mention because it's very private to me, but you mentioned something about how my protection affected somebody that I love in terms of their, life. And you don't know, like, you can say till you're blue in the face, I'm divinely protected, but what are you protected from? Because whatever it is that you're protected from is something in your living life that you need to address, so that you don't need that cloak of protection over there, and you can protect other parts of yourself that are important. In the same way, there are people out there living genuine horrors, like you said, the privilege that we have to even be able to say, like, oh, I can light a candle and say I'm protected, right? That protection needs to go there. And maybe we need to stop being so selfish and self-centered and start actually casting. You're a witch, you know what you're doing, go and cast magic for the right people in the right places, and do it properly, instead of coming on Beyonce's internet and saying, here's how to hex the patriarchy, let's curse the patriarchy, let's do it, but please let's protect our sisters, please let's protect our people. The protection magic that we did,
that's what I was just about to say.
Did you see in Afghanistan, men are now flocking to the streets and protesting for women's rights?
I have seen them. I have seen the videos.
That's fucking witchcraft. There were hundreds, if not thousands of us that did that ritual.
Yeah.
And look, it's gonna, you create waves in the right way, the goddess will respond fast.
Absolutely. I think that the call to witches, right, or the call to arms, the call to arms, that for me come at a time when I couldn't explain it, but I felt on the surface I was okay, but in deep down I felt such deep emotional, like, I don't know, despair is the right word, but
Yes.
just because when you are in this community, when you are a kind of a part of something, you don't just see the good, you also see all the bad that's happening in the world, the stuff that makes you feel powerless, the you know, the women that are having their voices taken away, rights to their own bodies, children, don't even get me started on the children because I'll disappear into a puddle of tears. And it's just, for me, it's the point where I felt this and then you did that. And was we all being, not just me, but were we all being listened to, you know, come together uniformly or unitely, if that's the right word?
Everyone was feeling that. There was this visceral, and here's the thing, women felt it because
Yeah.
women are tied to the divine farm. The closest you're ever going to get to God is through a woman, right?
Yes.
And we can feel our goddess mother and our goddess father. We can feel source energy in a way, even the most not spiritual, most mundane muggle you'll ever meet in your life. Everybody from every walk of life was going through this visceral reaction and feeling in their body that you've just described, like
Yeah.
for weeks leading up to me going,
Yeah.
right, we need to fucking do something about this, right?
Yeah.
And since then, those same collection of people have not only started, you know, baby stepping their way towards the craft and towards spiritual essence and spiritual sustenance, they have also started taking action. There were
Yeah.
people that have never lit a single fucking candle, Rue, that were like, fuck it, I'm going to bleed into the Mother Earth and I'm going to pray for the protection of these women and children around the world and these people that are going through all these horrible fucking things. So there we go. Let's talk about movements. Let's talk
Yeah,
about fucking
let's talk
magic. Do you know
about,
what I mean?
yes. Like that's, yes, let's talk about that. That to me, I think in my entire witchcraft career or my entire time practicing, I've been practicing since I was 16 years old. But that for me was, you know, stepping out into the open air and then feeling the earth beneath my feet and kind of feeling a frequency of like sadness or like a vibration of just like a war cry. That's what it felt
It
like
was.
within when I was within, you know, setting up my little kind of area, I suppose. But then actually doing the ritual, and then the thunder and lightning started above my fucking head.
I remember that.
Hello,
I remember
hello.
that.
Like we were hard. Like that for me was, I think, one of just the one of the best moments. You know, there was no gain in it, there was no transaction, there was no, like in the bit, like in the, you know, in the business sense, there was none of that. There was just witches going out and doing something as we should be,
Yeah.
instead of this, you
This
know,
fucking
tearing each other.
online fiasco of, oh my god, a
Yeah.
powerful fucking wizard cast a death
But
witch on me,
look
death
what
curse on
happened.
me.
But look what happens when we do come together. You know, look what we can do, right? If we put more energy into that sort of spaces rather than the competitive, the competition, the throwing each other under the bus, the this, that, and the other. I think us as a, you know, we are lucky, we are privileged nowadays because we have the internet to connect with each
Yes,
other.
yeah.
You know, whereas back in the day, that wasn't a thing.
No, it really
You
wasn't.
know?
And you know, you say back in the day, I mean, it's not even an awful long time ago
No, it's
where
not.
this was
It's
not an
not.
option. Like we're talking, I mean,
No.
I'm 33 and I come from a time of dial-up internet. I come from a time where I wasn't allowed to be on the internet while my mum was using the house phone because then it wouldn't connect. Like I come from the Sony Ericsson Bluetooth infrared times, right? It wasn't an option then, and we're talking maybe only like 15, 20 years ago. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't an option then. Now it's an option. But I also find that the ease of access now to information and to other people and to online spaces and like influencers, the ease of access has also blinded people into
Yeah.
thinking proximity equals relationship, and
Yes.
has definitely, especially because there are so many of us that are extremely neurospicy, it's
Yeah.
definitely blurred the lines between reality and what actually is just an illusion. And I
Yeah.
think that definitely ties into online witchcraft as a whole as well, because
Of
you know
course.
you're creating connections with people online, and that's fantastic. And
Yeah.
our ancestors would be so happy because they didn't get to do all of that. But
No.
where do you draw the line, and where are your boundaries? Your boundaries are so fucking important.
Yes, absolutely. And I think this is a really good time now to segue into your experiences. I suppose when you are somebody who you kind of are the go-to, Coco. You kind of are for a lot of people. You are the go-to. But I'm just wondering because we've spoken about maybe you do need to pull back on what you share on social media, and we've had that conversation in our private time. But like with your experiences with navigating that, have you ever felt that something is a bit inappropriate, is a little bit kind of stepping over your boundaries? Have you ever experienced anything like that?
I have experienced that more times than I care to admit.
Okay.
And it's I need to get comfortable. I might need to light another
Yeah, let's
cigarette.
get comfy.
It's only in the last, what month are we in now? We're in July, right? We're coming into
Yeah.
August. It's only since May this year, so just a mere
Okay.
few months ago, where I've gone, I need to genuinely take a step back. And my whole kind of like, especially creating like the coven, and I mean, you've
Yeah.
seen my lives. Everybody just
Yeah.
knows each other, right? It's such
Yeah.
a fucking beautiful space. And
It is.
for me, it was my priority was creating a safe space for women, for the she's, the theys, the gays to be able to get together
Love
and
it.
commune and, you know, learn from one another and it be safe, right?
Yeah.
And I love that. But then there's also, like I said, proximity equal in relationship. Like I realized when I went on holiday in May with Luca, when we went for my birthday, we went to Sicily. I realized how much I had actually been pulled away from reality, being in the online space as much as I was,
Yeah.
and working as much as I was. Now, there is more of a mundane explanation to that bit, in that I worked as hard as I did. Like last year, do you remember? Last year I was going white.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah,
worked
you are.
so hard last year to be
You
able to
made yourself
now.
quite unwell.
I did. I worked as hard as I
Mm.
did last year to be able to sit this year and go, I'm taking a break for 6 weeks because I need to focus on my friends, my family,
Yeah.
my children, my
Yeah.
home and hearth. But in terms of people,
Yeah. Yeah.
bitch, I'm lucky because given how many people I speak to,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I don't mean to say this as if like, you know, like my ass is in the ceiling, but it's like,
No.
I am one of the few online creators that people do have as much access to, because I
Yeah.
do respond and I do talk to people, you know what I mean?
Mm.
And I think considering that, the thousands of people I've spoken to, I have only really had 4 people in 2 years that have made me go, nope, absolutely
Okay.
fucking not. One was very recent.
Yeah.
And that was sad for me because I like these people. Like I'm a person as well. Like I build a relationship with you too. So
Yeah.
it's
Of course.
I get more upset than anything. Because the level of entitlement you might think that you have towards my life and my personal choices, I don't
Yeah.
like that, and I think that that crosses a
Yeah.
line and a boundary. And
Yeah.
it's one thing me coming to you and opening up
Mm.
to you and saying, here is an issue that I'm having, and it's a whole other when you know I'm not in a good mood and you're poking and you're prodding until you get me to a point where I'm vulnerable enough to be able to offload maybe some really private things that I don't usually
Yeah.
talk to people about, because
Yeah.
I'm a person, I get lonely too, right? And
Yeah.
then you weaponize that against me. And
Yeah.
I think out of everything, like even, oh my God, that fucking issue, the one before this one was in the server. Remember that one particular person
I remember you saying
who
yes.
went online and said that I hexed them because they done
Yeah.
a PayPal chargeback like thing,
Yes.
which excuse me guys, sorry, RIP to your ears, 1 minute. Which that person turned out to be so fucking messy
Yeah.
regardless. Like they were in my
Yeah.
server, and her and like two, three other people were extremely inappropriate, like extremely sexually charged conversations in the community chat. And I'm talking
Yeah.
every fucking day. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
exaggerating, every day. And the regular face people
No.
who used to talk all the time just started like disappearing, and the numbers
Dwindle.
started
Yeah.
going down and dwindling. And then they started messaging me like, listen, we know you're busy. We don't want to bother you, but this is making us uncomfortable. And I
Yeah.
brought it up and I said, right, I don't want these type of conversations to happen.
Yeah.
And it started happening again. I said it again this time. I put my foot down. I started effing and blinding about it because, listen, I'm a cunt. I'm a massive fucking cunt when you push me far enough, right? And I said to everyone, if you can't fucking contain yourselves, don't be here. There are survivors of SA. There was a
Yeah.
couple of
That's the thing.
clients and a couple of people in the coven that had that were married that don't even have sex with their partners because of the level of sexual trauma that they have endured. Why the fuck do they need to
Yeah.
need that? Now I know that. Do I need to tell you that for you to just be a normal person? Fucking no,
Well, no,
right?
that's it.
And by the third time, it kicked off that bad that everyone left, and there was like a whole other thing that happened with that. And
Yeah.
then that particular person who had been my client before for a while, they messaged me and were like, oh, can I get a refund on this order just because of the customs fees? I was like, that's fine. But she says this to me like, I think it was on a Friday or a Saturday, and I don't
Yeah.
work or do this one thing I don't do is paperwork on the weekends. I
Yeah.
don't. And then on Sunday I wake up to a chargeback, and if you know anything about business, the
Oh my
more
God.
chargebacks you have on PayPal, the more PayPal makes things difficult for you.
Yeah, it
Right?
does.
So I just
Yeah.
messaged her and I was like, babe, I was going to sort it for you on Monday. Like, I wish that,
Yeah.
that would have been it. And she was just like, oh, like, I didn't know it was going to affect you like that, blah, blah, blah. No, you knew though, because
Yeah.
you also sell stuff. So you knew, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, done the refund. And then there was another drama with another person that was in that group that tried to bait me, tried so hard to bait me, but they couldn't bait me. And I wasn't kind. I wasn't, because I'm not going to be kind if you're jumping down my front. I ain't going to be fucking nice to you.
No.
And then she goes online and says that a big WitchTok creator has hexed me. Because apparently she woke up in the middle of the night hearing someone swearing left and blind and going, you fucking cunt, and this, that, and it sounded like my
Right.
voice. Here's the thing. I'm not going to waste a candle on you. I
No.
pay a lot of money for my shit, right? I'm not going to waste
Yeah.
a candle on you, but also maybe you hit one of my boards because you're just a shit person on the inside. Like this fucking image that you're putting of yourself on the outside. I can see right through you. Remember that. I will always see right through you. Right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if that's gonna hit one of my wards, then I can't fucking Godspeed, bitch. I can't say I didn't warn you. But then this person went to another creator who happens to be a friend of mine and said awful things about me and said that I'm a
Yeah.
scammer, I'm a this, I'm a that, and the third, only to turn on that creator as well.
Yeah, when they disagree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that was a really messed up situation. I'm not going to bring this on here for their safety, but then this person then went on, despite apologizing to the creator saying I fucked up doing that, then goes online and says, yeah, no, that person's also a scammer. Like, there are really, as much as there are twisted WitchTok creators, there are fucking twisted viewers. I think that was
Yeah.
the one that got me angry more so than anything.
Yes.
But the other one, the first one with that first person, that one still gets me sad.
Yeah.
Like, I can't be angry at that person. I still see like her videos or like pop up, or like someone will send me something and I'm just like, I just want to give you a kiss on your forehead. Like I had so much love for this person, the way things turned the way that it did. And again, it's both my fault and their fault, because proximity, relationship, because
Yeah.
talking for a little bit and we got really close really quick, and
Yeah.
that's not an authentic relationship. So
No.
a lot of people have definitely crossed the line with me. A lot of people have definitely barricaded through my boundaries. And
Yeah.
if anything, it makes me more upset than it does, anything else. So now, though, we have learned, and
Yeah.
now I've, taken a step back, and I'm very grateful enough to be able to, I'm blessed that I can do that now because I worked as hard as I
Yeah.
did.
Well, I think a thing in there also is you don't actually owe anybody answers
No,
for your life. You
no.
don't owe, I think when we've had our discussions, and I've said to you, but Coco, you don't actually owe them an explanation because you don't.
And I remember, and this bugged me so much, and it still kind of bugs me because why did it bother me so much, right? And it was a shadow that I worked through eventually. But
Yeah.
I messaged this woman, and I was like, "Why are you saying I hex you? I never fucking hex you." And it was all over a video
Mm,
I made about feeding someone's name to Mother Lilith. That video was literally about my baby dad, and I even shared
yeah.
screenshots of where I'm speaking to you and I'm telling you in our messages about something that
Mm,
my ex had done that had bothered me so
mm.
much and that I was going to curse him. I sent her that, like, look, it's literally, she's like, why are you so desperate to prove that you didn't do it? Like, if you didn't do it. And I'm like,
That would have pissed me off, that.
then I sat there, I'm like,
Don't
can you
fucking,
not,
yeah.
do I need to bleed for you to see my point? Because I don't like people to think that I would hurt them, because I wouldn't hurt you over minor inconveniences. The only time I'm ever coming for someone is if you come for my kids. Like that's a whole
Yeah.
other thing. And you know what? She had the audacity to say, oh my God, Rue, oh my God, like thinking about it now, oh, I would have fucking decked her if she was in front of me. She said to me that everything that happened in the server was my fault. Her and her extremely sexually charged conversations that I didn't partake in was my fault because it's my responsibility to keep that a safe space. I tried, bitch. None of you listen. She's like, and what kind of Lilith devotee are you if you're not allowing women to express their sexuality and their freedom of this? Bitch, sorry?
Yeah, but you can do that without making other women feel uncomfortable.
And you wonder why you thought I hexed you. You wonder why you woke up to someone swearing at you in your fucking sleep, bitch. Maybe it's because you
Lilith
are a
texted you.
cunt. Like, maybe Lilith did use my voice. And that the half of these people are Lilith devotees. You wouldn't know fuck all about Lilith
No.
like, if it hit you in the face. You got to
Yeah.
go through the trenches with that woman. And I'm
Yeah.
talking, just because you deconstructed 2, 3 things doesn't mean, like, you're on that current now. No, you have to die to be on a current with Lilith. Like, death. It's
Yeah.
fucked. Anyway, I'm getting
Yeah.
really emotional now. I'm sorry, guys.
No, it's okay. No, it's fine. No, I think that I think that these are important conversations because it's like, you see it all the time. Well, I'm a Lilith devotee, and I'm not to be messed with, and blah blah blah. But she will have you get messed with. That's the thing.
Just to prove a point. And you'll
Hello?
say to her, like, I want to learn more about witchcraft. And
Yeah.
and she'll be like, okay, I'm going to put you in a position where you're about to get hexed like there's no tomorrow. Find your way out of it. But don't you fucking use my name to get yourself out of it.
Well, that's the thing. I think that the Lilithian path, when it's taken as like an aesthetic, and then maybe you find out that it's not just an aesthetic.
Maybe you
because
find
I've
out it's a
seen
life path.
it is a life path. It's something that I've dedicated my life to. It's something you've dedicated your life to.
Yep.
And I think when people come into it under the pretense of this looks nice, I'm going to do this because it looks nice, I like how this looks on me, come to find that it's a real current with real energy, with real rage. And you have to know how to navigate that.
And it is
You have to know how.
fucking scary. It is
It's scary.
actually like, look, that does look beautiful. Look at the lilies, look at the candles, the statue. That is all gorgeous. That is fantastic. She made me fuck an apple last week. Like, I mean,
I know you told me that.
talk about blasphemy. like it was and she made me eat it after. So guys, yeah, witchcraft ain't pretty. But there's so much to take in on her path.
Clearly. Clearly.
I called Rue 2 days ago.
Fuck's sake. You did. But the thing is, you didn't give me time to let it marinate.
No, I really didn't.
You just kept hitting me with all this information because it didn't stop there. I won't go into what else you told me because that's private. But you you just kept hitting me with all this information. I had no time to acclimate. I had no time to
That's
let
what
it
she
marinate.
kept saying. She was like, "Wait, just give me a second." She's like, "I can't. I need to acclimate."
I need to process thoroughly. I'm a slow processor. I need to process thoroughly. And I had no time to do so, so I just froze. It was flight or fright, you know what I mean?
She was like in the middle of crying and laughing, and like her face, her mouth agape, just listening to all this shit I'm telling her. And then I'm like, "So what do you think?" And she's like, I can't keep connecting the dots for you. I can't keep piecing this together for you." I'm pretty sure I sent her into a blind rage with that. It was so funny, but
Sent
you know,
me into fucking orbit.
no, it was so funny. Shall we dive into some questions now?
Yes, I was just about to say, because you and I both love the people, we have that in common, right? You love the people, I love the people. So shall we answer some much burning questions for our people?
Let's go ahead and do that. Oh my god, the bruises on my
Okay.
legs.
Do you want me to get some emails up first, and then we'll go into the bullet point in everything else?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, cool. Right. We have someone who messaged in. Hang on, okay, so let me get it up. So I'm gonna do, they were nice enough to give me a short version, which is nice. So this person wants to stay anonymous,
Okay.
which is fine. So the short version is, 4 months ago, I slept with my boss's son. He keeps using the fact that I work for his mother as an excuse to not take it further. Girl, he was 8 inches. Help a sister out. I mean, she said, let me not lose that length.
I mean, like, what do you want? Do you want to be with this person? Do you, like, if that's what you want to do, baby, just, you know,
I think I would sweeten his mum.
yeah, I would sweeten his mum, but then I'm just a bit chaotic. Maybe don't take my advice, but I would like totally bind his dick to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like in that, it's only going to work for me. It's not going to work for anybody else. And a man is fueled by his desires. So maybe his desire for you, while also you're sweetening up his mum, will overcome the, you know, avoidance there of whatever it might be. 8 inches, by the way. Did she take out a ruler? How do you know it was 8 inches? I have so many questions.
I too have questions. I have all the questions. I too have questions.
Yeah.
But I think my advice would be a crawl to me. Come crawl to me. I want you to crawl to me. All right?
On your hands and dick. Sorry.
Yeah, do all the things, and they shall be made to crawl on their bellies.
Yes.
Yeah. Do all the things that we tend to tell you not to do, but in this situation, I'll be doing a crawl to me. May you see my face in every crowd you're in. You know, sweeten up mummy a little bit. But then, is that an excuse to not? Because it sounds like a little boy excuse.
The thing is also, like, do you just want the peen? Is it just the peen you're there for? Was the sex just really that good? And are you sure that you're not being fueled by your desire for the good, you know, the good?
I mean, yeah.
Good. Because maybe behind the 8 inches, there's really not much of a personality. Maybe you're just stigmatized. So you need to figure out, do I actually want to get to know this person and have a relationship with them? Do I just want them to fuck me through a headboard? So depending on that, you would, if you just want them to fuck you through a headboard, then you don't really need to do anything. Like do a bit of a glamour and a domination on yourself, or you know, if you're a right cunt like me, bind their peen to you. That's it. But otherwise, you need to kind of like think about that, I think.
Yeah, I think so. And I also do think the whole thing with like come to me's and, you know, bring them back to me and stuff like that. I actually do like that shit in context. I do like that shit. I like it when it can be cathartic. Okay? So sometimes I like to, you'll come to me just so I can tell you no.
Literally sit on it. Sit on that. Let me give it a little fucking wiggle. Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So that is good. Right. So, next one. Okay. Right, I think this is really important for you to talk about because this next person is from Turkey.
Okay. All right.
Can you say your theme tune?
Turkey, Turkey.
Yes, we love that. You got a comment the other day. That's become someone's vocal stim.
I know. I couldn't stop laughing when I saw that. Oh my God.
That's great.
That's
Okay,
brilliant.
so I want to read this properly. So, hi, hope you are well. I was going to ask, what can a person do if they're trying to get into magic but can't really show it off? I saw Coco's egg protection spell, but if I were to do something like that, I wouldn't be able to keep it in my house. Should I bury my magic? Would it still work? And also, what about altars? What can be an alternative for an altar? I ask as a girl living with her family in a predominantly Muslim country, Turkey. And also, can someone connect with their ancestors, and how would you do that? Also, I'd like to remain anonymous. Thank you so much for understanding.
So, firstly, Godspeed. That shit's difficult. I know that that's difficult, and I see
Yeah.
it with, I have many Turkish viewers now, especially recently, have blown up quite a bit, haven't they? And
Yes. Which is great. I love that,
it's
babe.
it,
I
it's
do.
it's the same kind of thing, the same theme.
Mm.
So to directly answer like the egg one, for example, and
Mm.
that it kind of also answers the altar thing. Okay, so
Mm.
given specifically that this person is from Turkey, we are tied to like our origins are Tainism and shamanism, right?
Yeah.
We are far deeply connected to earth magic
Mm-hmm.
and nature. So if you want to create an altar, right? But you can't keep one in the house. Make a tree your altar. Go out into the wilderness, right? Obviously, don't go, crazy. We've got wolves and bears and shit in my country, but you go
Okay.
and find a tree that you feel most connected with. Okay, and what you can do with this tree, spend some time with it, and give offerings of water to it. Build a rapport with this tree. It really doesn't take long. Trees love us, right? It's I give it a few weeks, okay? And the type of offerings that you can give to the tree, if you want this tree to now be your altar where you can bury your spells under that tree, but obviously be mindful of what you're burying so it doesn't hurt, the earth, and, it's sustainable. You can give strands of your hair as an offering to the tree and tie it around with a red ribbon to show your appreciation. So, and again, that also kind of answers the last question with ancestors. That is a really good way to tie into your ancestors, because we always used to do that even today in our modern day kind of practices. There's a
Mm.
lot of red ribbon tying and red thread tying around certain trees of luck. Now I can't remember off the top of my head which kind of like a breed of tree, if you like, was like the one that we do this with mostly in Turkey. I'm going to leave that bit up to the send up. They would know probably better than me anyway. But
Mm-hmm.
create an outdoor altar with a tree or a shrub that you
Mm.
feel more connected with. And when you do spell work, you can do it there. You can do it in the confines of your home where nobody's going to bother you. And then you can bury it over there, because I understand you can't keep it in your house. And you want to connect with your
Yeah.
ancestors. You always call on the ancestors that have your highest good in mind. Blood of my blood, teeth of
Yes.
my teeth, bones of my bones. Those who have walked before me. I'm going to say this bit in Turkish. Sizin yürüdüğünüz yollara minnettarım. And ask those that my ancestors with my highest good in mind, who align with my path, to come through and assist me. And you will find, especially given that you can't practice as openly, is that you will get more intuitive downloads, because now that's the only way to
Yes.
connect. You will get more kind of dreams and more revelations through things that nobody can get involved in, because your parents aren't gonna, burst through a door in your dream, are they? No. So
Mm.
you can experience it the way it's really supposed to be experienced. Like, whereas
Yeah.
we can light a candle and say our
Yeah.
prayers and do our thing, and we can
Yeah.
go to sleep, and like, I don't get bothered in my sleep. I don't do a lot of dream work. But in your
Mm.
case, you might find that this might work better for you, so that when you finally are in a position where you're free to practice how you want to practice, you haven't just laid the groundwork, you haven't just laid the foundation, you've built an empire spiritually. So lighting a candle is going to be as easy as breathing for you. So I think that's
Yes.
a really good way to go about that.
I think that's probably some of the most beautiful things I've ever heard,
Yes, good
to
to
be
hear.
honest with you. When you talk about your magic, and you know your roots, the glow that you exude is truly beautiful to watch.
Thank
It really
you. I
is.
love it.
It's
I love our practice. I love my path.
yeah,
It's such a rich heritage. It is honestly, it is
yes.
really all consuming as well. It's so beautiful.
And I just feel like because I'm your friend, I get the privilege to sit and hear about it and hear you talk about it and just kind of be educated all the time that you talk about it. And it's just really beautiful just to even listen to, because I understand that practices are closed and things are, you know, things are out of bounds and stuff like that. But I think education and just the awareness and the knowing is still as beautiful, and just to kind of be almost like a spectator then
Yeah.
is still really beautiful. But yeah, I just love it when you talk about
Thank
your,
you. You're so fucking
no.
sweet. I love you.
And so my ex-husband of 13 years moved out of state and left me and my two children for his best friend's wife. He's fucking messy anyway,
Oh
right?
God. Okay.
That
Whoa.
was
I just realized
that
his best friend's wife.
his best friend's wife,
Okay.
right? This is really messy. There's lots of things,
Okay.
right? That was in 2021. I moved on and focused on me and my children. Not surprisingly, his best friend's wife is still married and didn't leave her marriage for my ex. Shocker. So that didn't work out, that relationship.
Okay.
However, here's the kicker. I've had a couple of female relationships since then. I've always been bisexual. The last one didn't work out because I refused to uproot my children, so that's why it didn't work out.
Okay.
Well, he is now with my ex-girlfriend
Oh!
and they've moved across country. So it's it's a mess, but babe, listen, if he wants to play those games, I'd be so messy. The cleanup crew couldn't handle the I mate.
First of all, what a piece. I need a cigarette. What the fuck? What a piece of shit of a man.
Right. The first piece of advice that I would give you, because then she's put justice, war jar, banishment. I would probably target the man, but make her see your pain through his eyes.
I can't get over how, I'm still
Messy.
registering it. That is so fucking shit. That would send me into orbit. What do you mean?
Like, it's there's just like I don't even know how I would cope. Well, I wouldn't. I'm cancer. I wouldn't cope.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
The question I have for this person is, what do you want? Because
Yeah.
we both could give you like a dozen different things to do. What do
Yeah.
you want? Because if you ask me in one sense, and this is where kind of I've been making videos about being grounded, about like your need for justice, right?
Yeah.
Him being so far away from you now and moving
Mm.
away and uprooting with your, first of all, I'm so sorry, that's genuinely shit, right?
Yeah, it
But
is.
it's a blessing in a sense because he ain't anywhere near you and your kids. So
Yeah.
I personally, what I would do is I would do a return to sender, like a targeted return to sender, where I return the pain that he's given me and I put it back on him. And I would call it
Mm.
quits. I would never pry
Mm.
into that man's life again. That ain't nothing to do with me. That is God's problem. That ain't my problem. And I would
Yeah.
focus on myself. I'm talking, I would glamour myself up to the nines. I would do road openings to open the roads for me to get new opportunities for more abundance and prosperity. I would focus on
Hmm.
everything I need to focus on in myself, and I would channel any leftover debris and pain after doing this return sender, like any of that
Mm.
that's left over. I would transmute that into fuel and
Yes.
absolutely thrive in my life, because I'm telling you, men like that, their hunger
Yeah.
never is satiated. Like their hunger you could never feed these people enough for them to be satisfied. That man
No.
will come crawling back to you on his hands and knees. And when he sees you, the biggest punishment you can give this man is you thriving in your life. rather
Yeah.
than, because even now, even though he's not seeing this and he's not seeing you, you know, wanting to light a candle and do a justice work, and he can't see that, right?
Yeah.
But on a spiritual level, you're still giving him the energy that he has been sucking dry from you throughout the
Mm,
duration of your relationship and everything that's been happening. That's my personal take. So I would completely focus on myself and remove all of my energy away from that man and that bitch. You know, fuck, I can't get over that.
mm.
Jesus Christ, I don't know what's worse.
I think personally, I mean, I think it's subjective to individuals, and I do think it depends on the reactivity of the practitioner. Because personally, I would have to jab.
Yeah.
I would have to jab a knife. I would, because I and this is where I think for me, this, do you know what? I rarely throw hexes and curses, not as much as I used to, because I think I've calmed down a hell of a lot. But I always live by, if you betray me, there are consequences to betraying me. And what those consequences are depends on the situation at hand.
Yeah.
If it's so bad that my heart is broken and I can no longer feel my soul, you're gonna fucking hear me. Do you know what I mean? That's when I'm coming for you. However, that doesn't suggest
Remind me not to piss you off. Shit.
but that this, a bitch, I learned this from you.
Like, you're saying this, yeah, and I'm having like a fucking visceral deja vu moment of this is how I accidentally nearly killed Luca. But anyway, go on.
Yeah. But it does depend on, situation by situation. However, that doesn't mean that you can't do both. Two things can be true at the same time. You can jab and then you can move on, or you can just simply concentrate on yourself and move on. Personally, I would have to throw a left arm back. You know what I mean? I'd cock it back so far, I'd smack you right off your fucking bar stool.
I think she hit a nerve. Are you all right?
Wound me up, that.
She sat there fucking balling me up, cock it back so fucking hard, can't you'll be knocked off your bar stool. Shit. Oh God, no, that's
But do you
shit.
know what? Do you know what as well? Why we turned to witchcraft, and we've talking. I haven't had a good fight in years, right?
I used to fight men. I don't even fight women because if I put my hands on you, you're never getting back up. I used to fight men for funsies. I'm now a mother of three, 33 years
Yeah,
old,
that's what.
humble, and
Yeah, I can't be
no,
doing
no,
that. I can't.
I need to deck a cunt every now and again, and
Yeah,
fucking hell.
yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna. No, don't let me say too much. Don't let
Yeah.
me say too much.
No, I'm living for this. This is brilliant.
Okay, right. We do have some questions that are bullet pointed from another sender.
Yes, okay.
And I think we should take in turns and give each other's, opinion.
Okay.
So, the first one is, what is the correct way to set an intention before divination? What wording should we use, and who should we be asking for guidance?
Now, this entirely depends also on who you work with and what type of witch you are. So, are you a solitary witch? Do you work with the elements? Do you work with the goddesses or the gods? Like, what do you do? Oh, there's interference from my phone, sorry. Do you work with the gods or the goddesses? Like, who do you work with? Where's the thing? Because essentially you're calling on them, right? But the first thing I would recommend anybody when they get any form of divination tool, whether that be tarot, a pendulum, or even like grains of rice, because there's many ways really to divinate, isn't there? You consecrate it. You first consecrate it. And you consecrate it to your spirit team, because if you work with nothing and no one, there's a one undeniable fact, no matter how solitary you are, is that we have spirit guides, right?
Yes.
And in those guides, funnily, your team of spirit guides can change as well as you grow throughout life. You will get new ones, and the other ones will go somewhere else. But their literal task is you, like just you. So it's their literal job. There's no transaction there. There's no let me give you an
Yeah.
offering. No, it's their job to look after you, because when you're well, they're also well, right?
Yes.
I would consecrate my divination tool, whatever it may be, to my spirit team. And in order to do that, there's various different ways to do it. So actually, so those of you who are watching rather than just listening in the car, so this is a tarot deck, for example. Obviously you don't want to get water or oils on your cards because then they get sticky. And I've lost many of my favorite decks to this because I do it in spellcrafting. But just anointing the corners of the box, for example, and drawing kind of like a pentagram, an invocation pentagram. So the banishing pentagram is when you go counterclockwise, and invocation is clockwise, right? And you say, you could do this with salt water that you have blessed where you pray into it. You can do this with elements. There's so many ways to do it. Just a quick Google will help you. But anoint the corners with an oil or the water that you have prayed and blessed, and say, I bless and I consecrate this deck to my spirit team and my spirit team only. No other energies or entities are allowed to interfere with my divination, with my spirit guides through this particular tool, whatever it may be. As I will it, so it is, as above, so below, as within, so without. So mote it be, because the power lies within your words. And I think I've said this quite a few times as well. Your spiritual journey will be shaped by the boundaries that you create here in the mundane. So if you are a people pleaser and if you are a pushover, which granted we've all fucking been there, right? And we all still do it every now and again. But if that is your literal life, that's how spirit's going to see you too. As in that is that you, like interferences, tricksters, all of that, they only come into spaces where you don't hold boundaries in your real life, right?
Yeah.
So that's something you need to work through. But otherwise, just literally consecrating your divination tool to your spirit team is more than enough to then begin divinating. And when you are divinating, create a ritual to divinate. So it's not just taking the cards out and just shuffling. Like, you want to take them out, give them a good cleanse. Like, how many times are you gonna shuffle the deck before you start pulling cards? Are you gonna do it 3 times, 6 times, 9 times? Whatever you're gonna do it every single time. Are you gonna ring a bell clockwise and counterclockwise? You've got to do that every single time. Find a routine that works for you when it comes to your divination, so that the moment that bell rings, or the moment that 3rd, 6th or 9th shuffle is done, spirit can go, okay, now we can talk.
Yes.
That would be my advice.
Yeah, no, that's great. I do agree. Okay, the next one is, how can we tell when our divination is being influenced by our own desires, fears, and delusions? How can we verify whether the messages that we receive are accurate?
That's a hard one.
So, okay, my opinion on this is, to some degree, if we are divinating on ourselves for a situation that is ours, you are always going to, by some degree, have a biased opinion, okay?
No matter how grounded you are.
It depends how grounded you are, but it challenges how open you are to seeing other perspective, right? So 9 times out of 10, if I divinate on something and it's kind of, it feels like the easy way out, I know it's not an accurate answer, right?
Brilliant.
Because it's what I want to hear. Do you know what I mean? If the answer is like, fuck, then it feels a little bit more not genuine, because all answers, no, you know, just because you're divinating with yourself doesn't make it any less genuine, but it feels a little bit more of a guided answer rather than just what my kind of energy wants me to do. Does that make sense?
I get that, yeah.
You know, to some degree, when it's for ourselves, you are always going to have, a biased kind of opinion or answer, but
it's scary as well, because there's nothing worse than divinating with your delusions. And I think your own kind of how you view yourself is very telling of your divination. Like, people have watched me for so long. They've been, some have been here for as long as, you know, I've first created my videos. I am very good at what I do, and I can say that with my chest. And I'm very good at divination. I'm very good at reading. I just read someone today completely unsuspecting. And the thing is, Rue knows this far more than I care to admit. I don't divinate on situations for myself anymore. I don't,
No,
because
you don't.
I'm a very emotional person. If
Yeah.
I'm at a point where I need to divinate, I've already lost my point of being grounded. I can
Yes.
no longer ground myself if I am reaching for the cards or if I am reaching
Yeah.
for an answer. And the thing is, a lot of the time the
But,
answer is within you as well. So
yeah.
it's a lot of the time you just need that validation. And the thing is, I saw a video today, and it's my last repost, and it's a paranormal investigator, just a very small creator, but I just loved the video and her concept in that demonic entities, spirits, like evil spirits and demonic entities, will tie themselves to your beliefs. So if your
Mm.
belief is, for example, the religious Abrahamic beliefs of demons are
Yeah.
coming for us and all that, if you really believe in
Mm.
that, guess what, they're going to play on that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So how you view, where your beliefs lie and how you view certain things is very telling of how your divination would be. My advice to everybody is, in that kind of situation where it's like very visceral and you need answers, go to someone else.
Mm.
Go to someone else that's more
Yeah.
grounded, that has no idea what's going on in your life,
Yeah.
because it's not worth. That's how you end up in that loop of,
Yeah, you
is
do.
this true? Is this not? And it's not nice.
So you mention entities and stuff like that, which actually fits into the next bullet pointed question, and that's how can we recognize whether we are being connected with our genuine spirit guides rather than a trickster or an entity?
Where do you feel it in your body, first of all?
Uh-huh.
Where do you feel it in your body? Because connecting to your guides is as easy as breathing. Yeah, connecting to your
Mm.
guides is as simple as talking to them. You don't need to light a candle, you don't need to open a portal, you don't need to do any of that, right? It's the easiest thing I can equate it to is
Yeah.
the Abrahamic concept of praying to God. Praying to the Abrahamic God is very easy. You put your hands together or you open them up and you pray, right? There's
Yeah.
no transaction, it's that easy. That is how easy it is to connect to your guides. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you feel really on edge and anxious,
Mm-hmm.
you may not be divinating with who you think you're divinating to. But also,
Yeah.
you might have within your spirit team a primordial being like Lilith. Or
Yeah.
like, lower level entities will also be in your spirit team. It's not all fucking love and light. You'll get some
No.
terrifying entities in your spirit team, and you can go your whole life
Mm.
not knowing fuck all about it, right?
What, like you did?
But, oh my god, don't! That's so fucking embarrassing, Jesus Christ! And now they won't leave me alone. Love them. Now we're talking all the time, and it's really fun. But setting that initial intention, kind of these 3 bullet points really tie into the same question. Setting that
Yeah.
intention, creating a ritualistic
Mm-hmm.
approach to your divination where you actually have a set sequence of steps that you take before you start drawing on this energy, consecrating and blessing these items to specific entities and intentions. That really is what you need. Doing protection magic
Mm-hmm.
beforehand, like when I first started with divinating with my guides, I made an ongoing protection candle. It was like one of the first things I'd ever made, like when I really started
Mm.
diving in, and my intention was I only connect to who I want to connect to. And even if what I
Yes.
want to connect to is no good for me, it's still my choice to connect to that, and nothing outside of that can
Yes.
influence this reading. The boundaries that you create with your words alone, your word is the weight of gold in the spirit realm if you know what
Words
you're
are
talking
magic.
about. Yeah. So
Mm.
that would be my advice on that. And if you do have a trickster spirit, it's so fucking easy to get rid of them anyway. You can quite literally just say bye. Like, it's
Yeah.
so easy. Like, just do a
Yeah.
banishing.
Actually, that's the next question. So, what is the most effective way to perform a banishing? There is a plethora
So
of
many.
spells and incantations and this, that, and the other, but honestly, white vinegar. Wash your house with white vinegar and smack the shit out of your pots and pans.
Done.
Done. That to me is all the mystical grimoires and the realms of the unseen and the unknown. That to me, I'm gonna be honest with you, hands down is the best fucking form of banishing I have ever done.
Yeah.
Right?
It's so easy
When
as
it
well, isn't it?
Yeah, obviously, when it comes to client work, like I have to say, spell work for me, like divination for you is you, yeah. Like spell work for me is to like the back of my
You're
hand
so
can
good at it.
put together a good fucking spell, but it depends on what it is you're banishing. If it's lower level entity, smack the shit out of pots and pans. If it's something that you want to disconnect to, like it's an energetic line, then yeah, I would go down the routes of spell work and shadow work and stuff like that. It does depend on what it is that you're trying to banish.
Yeah, you need to, again, what are you trying to banish? Because then you do the banishing according to that. If it's something within you, something as simple as a banishing T and pee it out. Like it's so, I think we overcomplicate these things a bit as well. Like genuinely, like
Sometimes.
you said,
Yeah.
like white vinegar. It is. Do you know how I would like to? I think I've described it like this a few times to other people. Lower level entities and lower level spirits and these kind of energetic lingering attachments that kind of like linger about when you don't like. You should cleanse even after having an argument with your children. Like it
Yeah.
lingers, right? The smell of things like white vinegar and like certain herbs, like certain banishing herbs and burning them, the smell of these things is like the smell of cat piss to us. Like, have you ever smelled, or dog piss? Like, cat and dog piss is so acidic and it's so disgusting. That is what that smells like to these entities, and they don't want to be around that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that is. Okay, so if another practitioner has influenced or altered the results of our divination through a specific divination tool, how can we identify and remove that influence entirely?
Oh, okay. I really like this one because the minute I read this earlier when we were talking about it, I
Yeah.
my advice with stuff like that, first of all, stop getting stuck in your head of like there's
Yeah.
a lot of doubt, this particular person, there's a lot of doubt that goes into your ability to divinate, right?
Mm.
I would actually step away from divination if I was you for a minute and focus on myself. That, first of all, I
Yeah.
just want to say that in terms of being grounded. But in a
Yes.
sense where somebody might have affected our divination or somebody has affected even our spell work, one of the best ways to identify that is to ask your spirits what element was used against me in this
Uh-huh.
working. So was it through prayer? Was it speech? Was it air? Was it fire magic? Was it water magic? Like was it earth magic? What was it? Because there is a counter to that. So if someone's done fire magic on you, you put that shit out with a water banishing. Like, do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
if it's really hard to figure that out, you can banish that energy using all of the elements. Because essentially they use the fucking
Yes.
element. Even if it is speech, they use the element of air, right? So then you can use the element
Yes.
of fire to kind of blow that prayer away from you. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
think it's finding what you're most comfortable with, but I would
Yes.
use all of the elements to counteract anything that's been put on me.
I think you were telling me about a water ward, were you not?
Water wards are fantastic.
Yeah.
The element of water is it's more powerful than anything, if you ask me. Don't forget, water causes waves. Water, think about it like
Shapes mountains.
shapes mountains, slices through rocks, right? So now imagine, but if the mountain's you, how much can that water help you if you're not willing to take in the lessons that Mother Water has to teach you, right? A lot comes with these
Mm.
elements. I don't know where that came from. I definitely didn't say that. But a water banishing is something like this is one of my favorite forms of banishing. A favorite form of cleansing is literally praying into my water, my tea, my water. I fast. I just gave this tutorial out. I fast an hour to 3 hours beforehand where I don't eat anything. I just drink water and then I make a herbal concoction of some kind that is a
Love
cleansing or a
it.
banishing one. I pray into that. I usually pray Psalms 91 or pray whatever I would normally pray. I cleanse any negative lingering stagnant energies off of my being, my auric field and my sense of self. Drink that and go to the toilet with the intention of releasing all of that energy that was in you. Fuck, it's so easy. Oh my God.
Love it. So the next, were you finished?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So sorry, babe. I was just like going on. Um. All right. So the next one is how can we recognize whether someone is spiritually observing, tracking, or cloaking themselves from us? What are the best ways to protect ourselves. Now, I think for me, in my opinion, this comes down to your system of protection, but it comes down to having your triggers, having your security systems and stuff like that, and your filters. So, Coco talks about protection magic all the time, but what she doesn't talk about is actually how advanced she is at protection magic, also, right? Um, Advanced protection magic is when you get into your kind of when you set like an alarm system.
Yeah.
All right, so if this happens, I will see this. If this happens, then I will see a fucking daisy in my garden, something like that, right? So a lot of this comes down to, again, protection and protecting yourself. Also, cloaking, um, cloaking in a sense of when you're removing your energetic signature, you can still create like forms of sympathetic magic, and stuff like that. That enables that object to catch that energy, right? So it does come down to it's a form of protection, but also if you are concerned that someone is cloaking to observe you, I'd probably, yeah, maybe perhaps like take a step back and just kind of work out perhaps why I would feel that way.
But also, it shouldn't matter who either. We
Yeah,
get really listen, if you're feeling energetically off, it doesn't matter who sent it to you, it doesn't matter who did it, it doesn't matter
no,
who looked at you, because
no,
you'll fall into a loop of, was it this person, was it that person, was it, you're
yes,
going to get a yes for every single one of them. Again, this is where divinating with your delusions comes in. Let's say you have 3 friends, right, and you're feeling really fucking drained after seeing all 3 of them for an outing, and then you're feeling drained for like a couple days, right, and then you suddenly pull cards and you're like, was it Tina, was it Trisha, was it Jane? You're going to get a yes for every single one of them, because being energetically targeted and getting like having energy on you goes beyond lighting a candle and doing targeted magic. It's
yeah,
also you were around these people's energy. I'm so sorry. You were around these people's energies, and maybe some of their energies weren't so clean, but maybe that's because they've got their own shit going on. You will get nowhere trying to identify the source of the energy. There's no point. I'm
yeah,
sure. I mean, if you want to, go ahead. Oh, my phone's ringing. Sorry. If you want to, go ahead, like go and make yourself go blue in the face, but rather you would save so much more time, effort and energy if you simply just done the energetic security system of
yes,
cleansing, banishing and protecting. Done. And if
yes,
you still feel off after
generalized.
that, then you do your shadow work of, why do I feel off, what is it that's actually affecting me, why do I feel like
Yeah.
this?
And also it does kind of point out the fact, like, if you have eyes on you, um and maybe, like, I do agree with you, because I'm not into the whole like, oh, let's find out who this person is. If I feel that I've been energetically attacked, I feel energetically attacked, I'm not going to negotiate with it, because I don't argue with my intuition. That's not at all what I would say. But if it is a case of, I feel that someone is on me, and breathing down my neck, we've all been there,
Oh yeah.
um then I would probably feel like, okay, what can I do to utilize this energy? What can I do to maybe transmute this energy in some ways? There's so much you can do when someone is giving you free energy. you know there you go, babe, have this, fine, but it's going to make me more beautiful, more powerful, more successful. Thank you, boo.
That's
Coochie
it.
good, moi.
It is coochie good moi.
Moi.
It's very, like, a lot of these questions are rooted in fear. And
Yes.
I completely understand that. It's removing
Yeah.
that fear and understanding how powerful you are. And the thing is, sometimes, like, when we give such, and this kind of ties into what we were talking about at the beginning of this episode, in that
Uh-huh.
aesthetics and all of this stuff, right? Like, when I tell you, yeah, okay, drinking a tea to banish lingering energy might seem like the easiest thing to do, and it might not seem tangible enough, but it is.
It
It's easy
is.
because it works. It works, and that's all you need to worry about. And not, I can't stress this enough, not an ounce of belief needs to go in to what you do. spiritually,
No.
because it is all energy. Not an ounce of belief needs to go into it. The energy is doing its thing. And you might not feel any better. You might not feel any worse. You might not feel nothing, but it's there and it's working. You don't need
Yeah.
65 candles and 20 different herbs on one fucking thing to create
No.
waves. No, your raw emotion is the thing that fuels your magic.
Absolutely. So, what is the most effective method to create an anti-divination protection ward?
Literally create an anti-divination protection ward. Like, literally create a baneful ward when it comes to divination and those who try to divinate on me without my permission. It's very simple. You create a petition. That again is very simple, and you use all of the elements for this. You create a protection in the center of your jar, and in the bigger jar, where I have a tutorial on this on the Baneful Ward, you can literally just
Yeah.
write a petition that pertains to all those who try to divinate on me without my permission, are to get mixed answers, are to
Yeah.
whatever, like whatever your
May their
terms.
eyes go blind.
Yeah, kill him. I
Yeah.
don't kill him, but I mean, whatever, whatever kind of like, And the thing is as well, what I think is the most important with this is, again, it's peeling back the layers of this.
Yeah.
If there is a part of your being, of your soul, that needs addressing and it's an open wound, it's exactly that, an open
Uh-huh.
wound, and people can pry into that, right? Even nobody
And
wants that. They can
weaponize.
pry, they can weaponize, and they can look at these things, like, to use all of these questions from this person as an example. To me, this sounds like somebody who's very afraid and feels
Yeah.
like they're being targeted by another practitioner, and that their divination isn't accurate enough. Here's the thing: where does that wound come from? There's a wound
Yes.
there that makes you
Yeah.
feel like this, and it's not to invalidate this person's experiences or
No.
invalidate what they're feeling, but the only way to actually combat this to this degree is to rip it from the root. Find the root, which is your wound. Why is
Yeah.
that wound weeping? We don't have to stitch all of our wounds up. Every now and again they weep, no matter how much you stitch them up, right?
Yes.
But it's finding why you feel like that will put so many pieces of the puzzle together for you, rather than you needing to outsource so much and create all these wards and these tools and these this and this that. Spirituality is
So,
spiritual sustenance. Witchcraft is spiritual sustenance. You don't need to outsource as much as
no.
you do.
Okay, so I would like to learn about transmutation wards on spells. How do they work and how can they be used safely and effectively? So, when it comes to energy method, I would say, like many of us, that's my jam. Transmutation wards work on the premise of, you're changing the flavor of an energy that's been sent to you. But the thing with transmutation wards is, if you're not getting anything sent to you, then there's nothing there to change the flavor of, right? So that's the premise of how they work. Only when you are receiving something that you've warded against, right? So say, for example, I'm going to make a transmutation ward because I'm getting some evil eye sent to me. Thank you, Bill. Mwah. We're going to change the flavor of that. But if I'm not getting any evil eye, then nothing's going to happen. So there isn't really like a safe way of using them. They are safe because they only work on the premise of what it is, and it's energy work, right? So the safest way is to just fucking do it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but
Do it.
also this person has repeatedly mentioned about someone else divinating on them and this and that. If there's nobody divinating on you, and if there isn't anybody that is kind of cloaking and trying to look into your life, and you're trying to transmute an energy that isn't there, it's not going to work, and then you're going to start questioning your magic. So rather
Yeah.
work with something that is tangible, that you can see, something as
Yeah.
simple as the evil eye, or something as simple as a particular event that might be happening in your life that is very mundane. It could be something like legal troubles. I transmute all of the energy sent my way through legal troubles, because in a legal trouble, for example, in a courtroom, you've got the judge, you've got the barrister, you've got this and that. They're all energy. I transmute all of that energy into success, into prosperity, into abundance. So like you said, it
Yeah.
works on what's already there.
Yeah. No, I do agree. I agree with you because it kind of is easy, like it's a very slippery slope when you go down the kind of hill of, you know, my magic is inferior or inferior to someone else's or the rest of the witches, or you know, whatever. And I think that's a very slippery slope, and that's something I myself have dealt with. You know, my protection, I don't feel like my protection's enough. You know, my spells aren't enough, and this is so deeply rooted in simply the wound that I am not enough. And that can very much be what rides that wave more so than your magic not doing fuck all.
Yeah. Oh,
Do you know what I mean?
Definitely. Yeah.
I think this person needs to have a serious conversation with their value and bring to the surface what their value is. Because we all have value, we all have something we can bring to the table. But when it's almost like a comparison as well, there's a bit of comparison going on, and that's a very slippery slope also, because the minute you compare yourself to somebody else, you instantly lose your magic.
You
right?
lose everything.
You give your power away. Okay, what is the best way to ward our name? What is the best way to ward our name or identify using transmutation techniques? It would be the same as
Literally
what
yeah.
we've suggested. You know, a transmutation can literally be done with your words. A transmutation is alchemy, okay? You can emotionally transmute and alchemize emotions, right? And it starts within you, right? But however, if you know, in the physical world, in the tangible world, to ward and transmute your name, that would be, you know, your spell work, your jars. It depends on what kind of it depends on what sort of transmutation it is, because transmutation is not really a technique, it's an energy method.
Yes.
Right?
I think this person just needs to take a step back from everything and take a shower and go for a walk and just relax for a little bit.
Piss on yourself.
Yeah, piss on yourself. Oh, you want to know how to break a hex? Piss on yourself. Literally, do you know how much you could do with your urine? It's wild.
This to me is TikTok brain.
Say that again.
This to me is TikTok brain.
Thank you.
That's what this is.
So this, and this is no hate, because I know
You've
the
watched
person.
You've watched a Loki Lodosaur video, and now you're fighting for your fucking life.
Clock it. So this particular person who's emailed these bullet points, and there are a couple more questions, but we'll definitely do a part 2, and because we're already 2 hours in. But this particular person, I know them. They've been my client, and we've had a few sessions. But what I will say is, this is what WitchTok brain does, where it makes you think that you need a ritual for everything. You need a result. Yeah. You need a ritual for everything and a result for every ritual. No, you don't. You need to just tear open your skin and fucking look inwards and go, okay, there's that wound. Because the only way these type of energies can stick to you is through weeping wounds. And the only way to not allow that to happen outside of banishing and things like that, because we're not always ready to address every wound, is to address the wounds.
So witches, come to the front, come forth in Heather. I do have something I need to say. If you're a witch, right, and you are practicing witchcraft, I need you to understand that witches are not at their altar every minute of every day constructing spells and rituals and incantations. Sometimes the witchiest thing you can fucking do is go and wash your ass.
Oh my God, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And take a good bath, take a good shower, drink a fucking tea. You know, actually, sometimes the witchiest thing that I can do is clock out of my witch hat.
Literally.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it's my love. I've dedicated my life to it. I'm definitely building something, but I don't live my life through magic and spells. I believe I am a magical person, and everything I come into contact is magic because it lives within me. You know, I'm not at my Lilith altar every day praying and worshipping, and I'm not on my knees for that reason anyway. But you know. You know, I feel that if you are a witch and a magical person, you don't need to keep validating it.
No.
You just are. It's you. It's within you.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's really important because, you know, the ungrounded and the real side is, yes, witchcraft is lovely and spells are lovely, but you don't need to keep doing spells to validate that you are a witch.
Yes. You don't. You really don't. Something as simple as cooking a meal for your family while being in a good mood is fucking
Yes.
witchcraft, right? Like
Yes, it is.
picking the right herbs because your child is sick and making a tea out of it, getting some ginger root. Like, do you know what I mean? All of that is witchcraft. It's all of that is the essence of being a woman and being a human.
Yeah.
We just happen to have a label, and that label is witchcraft and being a witch. When
Yes.
in reality, you're just actually living the way you're supposed to be living. So all of these things and all the extra things that we can do in terms of spell work is literally a bonus to being able to manipulate energy. That's it. That's
Yeah.
it. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you are the altar. You are the power source. You are the hub. And that's the end of that. You don't need to
Yeah.
look at these edgy fucking videos of,
Oh
oh,
my God, don't even get me started. We should make a part
yeah,
two
we're
and
definitely
do
going to make a part
edge,
two because we wanted
do
to
the
talk
edge. Lord.
about men in the fucking spiritual space and we didn't get to it. And fuck, like there's that will go on for like 6 business days. But yeah, no, you don't stop looking at what you see online and look within yourself and find what you need within
Yeah.
yourself rather than outsourcing that to random creators, including myself and including Rue. Like the answer lies within you. We just
Yeah.
we just sprinkle little bits of advice
Yeah.
and hope for the best.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I think like I will never claim to know or have all the answers because I don't. I'm
No.
human, you know? But I think if it's one thing that I've learned in my years of this, it's, you know, everyone wants to do the cool shit, but you can't do the cool shit unless you've got your grounding down. Grounding is the most important thing you can do, and sometimes logging off is grounding. So,
Take a nap. Take a
yeah,
nap. Oh my
take a
God.
shit.
Take a shit. If you really want to do some witchcraft and someone's pissed you off, just write their name on a piece of toilet paper, take a shit and wipe your ass on it. My God, like it is so fucking simple. The basis of the craft is understanding that witchcraft is spiritual sustenance at its core.
Yeah,
That is it.
yeah.
And everything else outside of that just happens to be a bonus for us to be able to manifest better lives for ourselves. But sometimes you can manifest until you're blue in the face. You can craft until you're blue in the face. If you have a limiting belief about yourself, that shit is never gonna hit the way that you want it to. It might not even hit at all, but it will start working when you start working through your wounds. Anyway, we're going to keep
Yeah.
going and going. So this was lovely, Rue.
Yes, this was lovely. Thank you for having me on.
Oh my God, I'd have you any day. We need to do a part 2 to this, definitely. But this was lovely, guys. If you don't know, Rue, where can we find you?
So you can find me on TikTok. I am Rue Witch. I'm your resident Lilithian siren, and this is me.
This is me. Okay. Do you have Instagram or is there any other socials that we can find you on?
I am on Instagram. I'm just Rue Witch on Instagram,
Okay.
but I'm normally more active on TikTok.
Okay, perfect. Rue has a lot of things going on, guys. Please convince her. Do Patreon. She's not fucking listening to me. And please tell her that she's amazing because I'm getting pissed off that she's not doing the things that I need her to do to grow. She needs to grow. I'm very proud of you and I love you and we love you
I
guys.
love you.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, tune into part 2. Don't know when we're going to do it because we've both got ADHD and kids and it's summer holidays. We will figure it out. But I love you, Ruth. Thank you for coming.
I love you too. I'll probably speak to you
Yeah,
later.
literally, I'm going to call you as soon as we get off.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Love you. Bye.